Am I the a-hole for telling my dad I found out I'm not his biological son after reading my late mom's diary? I 24M lost my mom 2 months ago to breast cancer. She had been fighting it for over 3 years. She went through chemo, surgeries, and remission, then it came back aggressively last fall. She passed quietly at home, in hospice, with my dad and me by her side. We were incredibly close. I was her oldest, her baby boy, as she used to say, even though I'm a grown man now. She supported me through everything. I still haven't fully accepted she's gone. Even writing this feels unreal. My dad 5'4", is a good man, but more traditional. He's the quiet type, stoic, hard-working, loyal, but he doesn't show emotion easily. While mom was sick, he was her rock, but you could tell she was the center of his world, and when she died, a huge part of him went with her. After the funeral and the wave of visitors and casseroles faded, it was just the two of us in the house. My sister 19F went back to college to try to catch up on her semester. I stayed home to help my dad and because, honestly, I couldn't face going back to normal life yet. A few weeks ago, I started slowly going through mom's things, not to clean out her room, but more to connect with her. I wanted to find a sweater she wore all the time, maybe a journal, something to hold on to. It felt like a way to grieve quietly, privately. In the back of her closet, I found a shoebox full of old letters, photos, and a small journal. It wasn't labeled or hidden, just tucked away like something she hadn't touched in years. At first, it was comforting. Notes about vacations, quotes she liked, small stories about when my sister and I were kids. But as I read on, the entries changed. One entry dated about 25 years ago hit me like a freight train. I made a mistake. I don't know how to live with it. The baby might not be his. I read on. She had an affair. A brief, one-time thing during a medical conference in another city. She was married to my dad at the time and deeply regretted it. When she found out she was pregnant, she did the math and realized there was a chance the baby wasn't his. She wrote about how she almost confessed, how she drafted letters to him but never gave them. In the end, she decided to stay silent. She said she loved my dad, couldn't imagine breaking our family apart, and that she hoped he'd never find out. That baby obviously was me. At first, I thought it couldn't be true, but the more I sat with it, the more it added up. I don't have things similar in case features from my father. Neither of my parents did. I always felt like I didn't quite fit in the family photo, never really looked like Dad. He wasn't cruel, but there was always a quiet distance I could never explain. I kept it to myself for a week. I couldn't sleep. I couldn't look at my dad without feeling like I was lying to him just by existing. Eventually, I broke. I sat him down in the living room, same place where we said goodbye to Mom a few weeks earlier, and told him everything. That I had gone through some of her things. That I found a journal. That she had an affair. That there's a chance I'm not his biological son. At first, he didn't say anything. Just stared at the wall. Then he asked me to hand him the journal. I did. He flipped to the entries. Read them silently. Closed the book. And then, he stood up, walked to the fireplace, and threw it in. Watched it burn. Then he stared at me quietly. I tried to explain that she loved him. That I still saw him as my father. That biology doesn't erase the love he gave me for 24 years. That this wasn't about blame. He didn't yell. He didn't cry. He just said, I need to be alone for the moment, leave. I haven't spoken to him since. I've been staying with a friend. My sister knows something happened, but I haven't told her yet. I don't want to drop this on her during finals. A few of my aunts and uncles think I was out of line for going through her things and for bringing it up to my dad at all. They say it wasn't my secret to reveal, that it's caused unnecessary pain. That I destroyed what little family we had left. Others, my closest friends, say I had a right to know, and that my dad was already grieving and took it out on me. Now I'm caught in the middle of this emotional fallout, and I genuinely don't know if I was trying to do the right thing or just made things worse.